Here, I have 3 sandwiches, but you have to pay $1 for the middle one. But you can have either the left or the right one. Why would anyone take the middle sandwich? Somebody tell me why. Hey guys, what is up? AwesomeTheSauce here. Hope you guys are having a great day and welcome to a video that I've been wanting to make for a very long period of time. This is just like a bunch of things that I've just been hearing in the community, but I kind of wanted to wait until KingsOut put out their PvP live stream before I even put this out, because I wanted PvP to be a part of the conversation before I talked about how PvP can be more a part of the conversation. I've been doing PvP for, I want to say, like, I don't know, 7, 8 years. When PvP came out, I was on it for a little bit. I played all throughout Second Age. I played a lot throughout Third Age, Fourth Age. You've seen me at that point. And from all that playing, I've seen a lot of people give me feedback, and I've seen myself a lot of reasons why a lot of people don't PvP. One of the main reasons why I think PvP has taken so long, in my opinion, for years and years, it's taken so long for it to fix, is because not a lot of people actually do PvP compared to other side activities. So like, we're talking fishing, we're talking pet training, we're talking just PvE stuff, but there's a huge reason for that. There's, in fact, in this video, we'll go over 5 reasons, and how before 5th Age and all this PvP comes out, these 5 things should be addressed at some level. Otherwise, to me, it shows that PvP still isn't really a priority, and it's always going to be treated like it's not, even though, in my opinion, it's the most entertaining part of this entire game. So without further ado, here are my opinion, and I'd love to hear y'all's in the comments as well, but my opinion, here are the top 5 reasons people don't PvP and how we can fix them. Number 5. I think this one is definitely on this list. Toxic behavior in the arena. Now here's the thing, alright? I'm not gonna act like I haven't been toxic. I don't think that just because you're competitive in this game that you have to be toxic. You know what I'm saying? You can be frustrated at a game. You can be angry that you made a bad move. You can be angry at how the game plays out. And that's fine, but I think when you take it to a level that a lot of people in the arena do, which is, you know, take it into people's personal lives, throw out racial slurs, basically just, you know, when I'm streaming, sometimes people make noob accounts, follow me around, and tell my opponents exactly what's in my hand and what I'm doing. You know, that kind of toxic behavior, that's going to turn off a lot of people from PvP. Now, I don't really know a huge solution the developers can do, but one really big problem is that a lot of people who PvP are muted for being toxic, and then they make a novice wizard, and then they can say literally whatever they want, and they don't get in any trouble for it, because it's a level 1. What are you going to do? Ban a level 1? Oh no, they're just going to make another account. And honestly, it really is a huge thing. Like, the community needs to be a little better on this, but I genuinely think that there should be a cooldown of some sort in terms of, like, you know, how quickly you can chat on a novice. Like, if you make a new account, or you make a new wizard just so that you can't get ignored, or, you know, you don't want to get report spammed or something, if people keep making new wizards, there's got to be a way to prevent that from happening. Right now, if you're mad at someone and you want to say something really hurtful that bypasses chat filters, all you really have to do is go on to Wizard101, make a new account, and that's it. I think that's a huge problem in PvP because it is a competitive environment. So you shouldn't give people the tools to be toxic when you have the ability to stop it. So I think my big solution here is, if you're at level 1 or you just made a new account, make it so there's like just a 24-hour cooldown before you can speak, or maybe even a week. You know, or maybe even 3 days, you know, just like make it harder for people to be toxic in the arena, because that's a huge turnoff for a lot of new players. Number 4, and this I really hope that they look into this. I think this one's a harder, like, fix to implement, I'll be honest, but I think that, and I've been looking at the forums and stuff also, you know, like, I've been doing a lot of research trying to gather what I think are the main reasons why people are turned off from PvP. One of the big turnoffs for a lot of people is how prevalent TCs are in PvP, and I know this is like a really big issue for a lot of people, because if you go through the effort and the time of making a bunch of TCs, you would think that you should be rewarded for it, right? Like if I'm out here, you know, like, you know, I have a strategy, especially like, let's take my death for example, right? I have a strategy where all my hits are inside. You know, I go through the trouble of making Death Minotaur TCs. I go through the trouble of making Headless TCs. All these hits, I go through the trouble of it. And here's the thing, I do think that if you go through the trouble of making TCs and creating a strategy with your sideboard and the way it works with your main deck, you should be rewarded for that. But the problem is, this isn't like a natural skill. I think one of the big differences between PvP and PvE is that you can get away with not using treasure cards in PvE. So how would you go about fixing this problem? Because TCs are really good for making skillful plays, but they also form a barrier for a lot of people who are entering PvP. I think the one solution that they should look at right away is for privates and sergeants, or, you know, just people starting off in PvP. You can make that line anywhere, maybe knight, I don't know, veteran, that 600 rank, you know, until you reach that level, right? Let's take 600 rank as an example. You should not be allowed to use TCs in PvP. Oh my god, Sauce, you're gonna ruin PvP, shut your ass, I'm tired of your ass saying No, hear me out here, bro, like seriously, hear me out. I genuinely think, and maybe this is something they can test, but if you were to see how people PvP without TCs from 500 to 600 rank, I feel like just the experience of ranking up to 600 rank will give you a lot of the skills you need to know when and how to use TC. When you're in a competitive environment, when rank is on the line, you're gonna make the best plays that you can. Like, it's a whole mentality thing. So why not put newbies in an environment where they don't have to have everything under control, but they're in that environment where they can learn how to use TCs and learn how the game works and learn how to manage their pips. They're going to be learning all these skills instead of complicating things with treasure cards, especially because so many people feel intimidated by the fact that they didn't spend all that extra time in Unicorn by making TCs, and that's why they can't PvP. I think it would be a really, really cool idea just at private, just at sergeant, just like up to veteran maybe, just don't have TCs as an option. My only issue with this idea, by the way, is that I don't know how this would work if, let's say, a sergeant who's like, I don't know, level 130 goes against a warlord that's level 120. Would a warlord still be able to use the treasure cards against the lower level, the higher level, lower ranked person? Because then they're at a huge advantage, you know, like, so I don't know exactly how that would work for, you know, ranks that are different. Maybe just make it so that a sergeant can never go against a warlord. I don't really know, but I do think dividing PvP just a little bit, especially because it'll lower the barrier for entry, I think that's something they should really look into. TCs are a huge barrier for a lot of people entering PvP, but it's only number 4. So let's move on to number 3. Do you guys see this pet right here? This is a mighty triple damage proof pet. It gives extra resist, extra damage, and you can put a Brace Jewel on it. Amazing pet. I bring your attention now to another pet that I use at Warlord, which is another Selfish Talent pet, but this time it has wards, Pain Giver, and Proof, and again, you can put a Brace Jewel on it. It's great for Nova. Here's another pet that I made very recently, and this is one of the pets that's made it so that I can actually compete using Storm stats at high health, and, you know, this is another pet. Now, what do all 3 of these pets have in common? They're not accessible for people who don't have tons of snacks, tons of energy elixirs, tons of pros. I'm extremely lucky that 1, I have a bunch of mega snacks, and 2, I have an extremely lit group of people watching that are able to gift me energy elixirs, pros, help me out with their pets. I have resources beyond belief when I'm making pets. Like, I will fully admit that. But I'm coming from the perspective of knowing that that's an advantage, and I don't really like that I have it. This is something that you'll never hear a streamer, you'll never hear another content creator say, because they like the advantage. A lot of people will make pets, they won't even put it in the kiosk, and it's created this almost like elitism within PvP that I absolutely cannot stand. Now, similar to TCs, I think the big fix would just be to disable pets just up to a certain rank, so that when people are entering into PvP, just don't make their pet stats count, so that again, they can learn the skills of PvP, learn what kind of pet they even need to make before getting into the higher ranks, and learn how pets actually work. I feel like with PvP right now, you're just thrown into the mix with treasure cards, with brace jewel pets, with, you know, like, you're a private. How are you gonna, like, if it's your first match, how in the world are you supposed to adapt to everything? Pets are extremely hard to make. They make it so that the top tier players with really good pets will have the best stats, and that could win them the game. And the problem is privates and sergeants, if they're just starting off, they won't necessarily have those pets. So instead of making it a turn-off for PvP, just don't make it a requirement for the earliest ranks of PvP. Number 2. Let's look at my rank right now, bro. I got that 14-12 rank on the Nova. You know, nothing too shabby, nothing too crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. And yet, I still have the same badge that I had 500 rank ago. I made it on the leaderboards on this wizard. There's not even a badge for that. I think the lack of PvP badges and the lack of incentives to PvP is one of the big things holding PvP back. There's another thing that, sure, it's really easy to act like other side activities are doing a lot better, but at the end of the day, why wouldn't they do better when there's daily rewards that are way better for every other activity? I mean, let's just take the Scroll of Fortune, for example. The Scroll of Fortune incentivizes you to play in Beast Moon. It makes sense for you to do Decathlon. And sure, yeah, you get points for making TCs for PvP, but that's as far as it goes. Why not make it so the Scroll of Fortune responds to how often you win in PvP? You can cap PvP wins if you really want, but why not add that as a dimension? Why not add more ranks and, you know, like, make more things for arena tickets that are unlockable? Why not make some of the Beast Moon gear unlockable for huge sums of arena tickets that people can grind for and people can, like, you know, flaunt? Why not make a leaderboards badge that people can grind for and people can flaunt? Right now, if you're just a badge collector even, I guess you can go to 900 and call it, but I can tell you right now, after going 500 rank past 900, PvP gets really awesome as you rank up and you find a strategy that works. It's really fun. And I think a lot of people, like, I guess this point applies more to people who, you know, dabbled but they don't really see the point in doing it. I mean, at the end of the day, every other activity has more reasons to do it, you know? You can unlock cool emotes doing Beast Moon Decathlon. Why does PvP not really have that? Like, besides a tapestry to the arena, why would anyone want this? Why would anyone be like, oh, I'm looking at this, I'm gonna use arena tickets for it? Like, no one's thought process is like that. We need way more items like this. Not just mounts, but things that look cool, things that are school specific, things that maybe are discontinued, things that maybe give good stats at higher ranks so that you can actually make PvP only gear good again. There's so many directions that you could take, and I feel like the arena tickets right now, like, they're not good. And finally, this is the biggest one, and honestly, bro, this one, long overdue. I want to cash in all my brownie points. We need to make ranked PvP free for everybody. Bottom ass line, bro. I'm not even joking. This is number 1 for a damn reason. It blows my damn mind that PvP is, like, you know, like, not focused on because it's the least done side activity when it's the only side activity with a money wall attached to it. Here, I have 3 sandwiches, but you have to pay $1 for the middle one, but you can have either the left or the right one. Why would anyone take the middle sandwich? Somebody tell me why. I get it. King's Eye will lose money. Oh, God forbid, 75 crowns a match for non-members. Oh, God. I literally think that the amount of players you would just bring back, literally just by making ranked PvP free for non-members, like, it's insane how many people you would bring back. If PvP is really as dead as everyone claims it to be, then how much money could you possibly be losing anyways by making ranked PvP free? It blows my mind that the activity that I love to do the most, that I think is the most entertaining, it blows my mind that I've somehow chosen the one that's stuck behind a paywall. I really wish I was a monstrologist now, man. At least I don't have to pay crowns every time I do a monstrology battle thing, whatever that's supposed to be. I don't know. That's my number 1, man. I hope that happens in 2020. Like, that could be my... Let me cash in my birthday present, my Christmas gift. This one needs to be done, bro. But yeah, guys, those are my top 5. Toxicity, TC making, pets, incentives, and ranked PvP isn't free. These are the 5 big reasons that are holding people back from PvPing, and I'm really excited about the 5th day changes. Don't get me wrong, I'm really excited about this, but I think that, sure, you can fix PvP and the mechanics and everything attached to it, like, that's good. Like, please do that. But you gotta think about the players, too. Like, you gotta think about how are people gonna be involved in this entire process, and you gotta ask the real questions. Like, why is this a side activity that seems to draw in tons of viewers on YouTube, tons of viewers on Twitch, it draws tons of views on videos, not to mention it draws tons of excitement when people run tournaments. Why is it that that is a least played side activity? These are the reasons, and I really, really hope that whoever's watching this who can make something happen, I hope something happens, man. Now, here's the thing. These are just my opinions. I'd love to hear y'all's opinions as well in the comments. What is the reason you don't PvP? I mean, it doesn't just have to be this video. I'd love to have everyone's voices heard in the comments, so let me know. As always, there's tons of links in the description, including my Twitch, my Twitter, my Discord, my Instagram, and my Patreon. Thank you for all the love on Patreon. You guys give me hope that one day Twinkies will make a return. I don't know. If somebody has not told you you're awesome today, they doing something wrong. So stay awesome, brother. I look forward to reading your comments. And yeah, yo.